well, it's Harpy, it's your request, so I'm going to honor it. Yeah, well.
Is that whiskey?
No.
That's where the whistle went.
I haven't had a drink in close to 20 years.
That's pretty good.
I didn't have to get into a program. It wasn't kind of like that. It was more that I just didn't really want a part of it.
Sure.
My dad was a drinker, and but he was a functional drinker. He was one of these guys who never missed a day of work, and also he wasn't violent, but he just wasn't quite, the person he could have been. And so I think for every guy who's a train wreck drunk, there's actually lots of guys who are like my dad was, who just drink too much and aren't quite the person they should be. So I wrote this thinking of them. When I wrote this, my parents were both alive, and I wrote it thinking, this could really cause a problem. And so I checked it out with my mother. I sang it for her, and she said, "You go ahead." It's called Whiskey Vacation. Daddy comes home late and unties his shoes. He sits in the rocker, turns on the news. I run upstairs and leave Mama with him, with his tumbler and rocks and his bottle of gin. I hear his voice talking on about his day, and Mama pretends she's got nothing to say. After supper, there won't be too much conversation. Daddy is gone on a whiskey vacation. Now there's a yodel along part. Whiskey, whiskey vacation. Try it. Yeah. Whiskey, whiskey vacation. In the kitchen downstairs, Mama's pacing, and I try to play quiet, but my hands are shaking. Daddy is gone on a whiskey vacation. Silent, but some nights he'd be bad mouthing Mama, then he started on me. When he gets on a roll, 3 sheets to the station, Daddy is gone on a whiskey vacation. Here we go. Whiskey, whiskey. And I'm read by all as an upstanding man. For years I have pondered what makes people drink, and the demons that haunt them and make them feel weak. I hit the bottle myself, but stopped in trepidation to keep from being lost on that whiskey vacation. Here it comes. Whiskey, whiskey vacation. There's a choice every day that I'm making, so my sons and my daughters will never be saying, Daddy is gone.